And I'm getting more and more concerned about what's going on at NRG Stadium by the day. First off, let's start off resetting something that I caught during CJ Stroud's press conference after the Seahawks took him down on Monday Night Football. I talked about this on Sports Radio 610 with Reggie in more detail, but am I crazy here? Or is CJ Stroud pointing the fingers at the offensive coordinator?
I mean, there's a lot of things. I think first I got to point to myself and missing a couple throws. You just I got to work through the pressure. Bring some blitzes. Got to just do some things. To run some different schemes. I think it will help, but. I just think we just didn't catch a rhythm. The type of offense we're running is like I told y'all, death by 1,000 cuts. And sometimes when you live by that sport, it's hard because, you're not taking a bunch of deep downfield shots, but you're asked to be, really good on first, second down, time and time again. And something that we just got to get better at. It's still new to a lot of us, but I definitely think, we can be better at that, and that'll definitely help. We were in a lot of situations where, they really didn't show, zero blitz on film on second and long when you're kind of backed up. So that one kind of just caught us off guard. But when it's loud, it's hard to, sometimes get the protections right, and you got to just sometimes throw hot. Sometimes you can pick it up. So it's a little bit in between, but it's something definitely we got to look at and get better at because, we've gotten it a couple weeks in a row. So, I think if we can do that, we can, hit some bigger plays.
I'm going to leave that up to you. We'll hear more from CJ Stroud, I'm sure, the rest of the week. Meanwhile, you've got DeMeco Ryans, and yesterday's DeMeco Ryans press conference does not have me feeling better about the direction of this organization. First off, DeMeco Ryans just keeps babying the offense. I actually talked about this on Channel 11 before the Texans game against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
I'm with Seth. I do think they're being coached hard behind closed doors. I think when we look at what DeMeco has been saying publicly about the defense and offense going back a year, he's going to hold the defense to a much higher standard, and he should. We're talking about a defense that has the potential to be one of the top 5 in the NFL this season. And then we see him talk about the offense, and I mean, he's coddling them a little bit. It's frustrating if you go back to last year and see him doing the same thing, but to me, this is a lot like if a parent is treating a couple of different kids, the defense is being treated like the oldest, and as my sister would probably complain about, the youngest maybe is getting a little bit off scot-free from time to time when they're not doing what they're expected to do. It's going to take time for this offense to get going this season, though, so I get why DeMeco's doing it. I think if you're a fan of this team, you're just sick of hearing the same old rhetoric about how this offense is actually looking good.
You got it Monday night after the game.
Do you feel like the offense kind of regressed tonight?
Today wasn't a good day for our entire team. Right? It's not just one side. All 3 phases did not do a great job today.
And then you got more of it yesterday.
Now that you've had a chance to review the tape, what are some of the issues that you feel like are facing the offense that are really holding you guys back? Obviously, there was a lot of production the previous 2 weeks, but this time that wasn't the case. And have a fast follow-up. Thank you.
Yeah, for us as collectively as a team, like we have to do our jobs, right? If we expect to win, we have to do our job, not offense. It was just on the offense, but it's all 3 phases. Guys have to do their job.
I don't know how you can point the finger at anybody other than the offense for Monday night's game. Sure, the defense had its moments where you're like, what the fuck was that penalty? Sure, the special teams had questionable moments as well. Why is Braxton Berrios in for Jalen Noel? Why couldn't Kaimi Fairbairn kick the ball out of the back of the end zone? But I don't know. The Seahawks turned the ball over 4 times, and you lost that game. Who do you point at other than the offense for that? But he babies them. Questions about Nick Caley's future? Nick Caley's sticking around. He even said it.
Coach, when you were hired, you brought Bobby Sloak over, a first-time offensive play caller, and then after 2 years, you all relieved him of his duty and brought in Nick Haley. But after 6 games, it seems like you all are still dealing with some of the same issues that you dealt with when Bobby was here. At what point do you have that assessment, or how many games does it take for you to see this is with the direction we want to go and give it a little more time, or maybe make a change?
No, look, we're pressing forward with everybody that we have. We're pressing forward with everybody that we have. We're collectively all in this together, and it all starts with me. So if you guys want to point the finger at somebody or put it on somebody, put it on me. That's my job, and ultimately it's my job to get it fixed. So, and that's how it'll be. But we're rolling with what we have, and we got to just all do better. Got to coach it better. We got to play better. We got to execute better on game day.
I'm also wondering if the team's listening, given what I just said about Kaimi Fairbairn. Supposedly the plan was for Kaimi Fairbairn to kick the ball out of the back of the end zone before that last Seahawks possession where they got the first down thanks to a Tim Settle unnecessary roughness. They're blaming that on the whistle. But also, 2 times during his press conference yesterday, DeMeco pointed out that Derek Stingley was supposed to be playing in tighter coverage, press coverage, with Jackson, Smith, and Jigba. Not once, but twice.
What kind of went into the decision to not have Stingley press as often against JSN? Giving JSN free releases is a receiver that good. That's kind of almost that sense taking candy from a baby. So what kind of went into not having Stingley press JSN more often to disrupt the timing within his routes?
Yeah, our game plan was to, as I stated earlier in the week, to make sure we're aggressive, make sure we're getting hands-on and playing them tight and sticky. That was our game plan.
Just to follow up on that, my previous question, so I guess in those instances when Stingley is in off coverage, is that a decision by you guys, a decision by him? Like what kind of goes into, again, giving JSN when he's matched up against, one of you guys' best corner, give him off coverage and not necessarily disrupt him at the line of scrimmage versus the top of the route?
Again, our game plan was to get hands on JSN, play him aggressive, right? Challenge him each and every snap. That was our game plan.
So those 2 examples, and then this quote talking about what the offensive line wasn't doing should have you concerned.
What was the conversation like for you guys about things on the offensive line that were frustrating last night?
Yeah, I think the most frustrating thing for me is things we've covered, things we've worked in practice, and we get in the game and it's not getting done. We're doing something different. We're doing things that we're not coached to do. That's the most frustrating thing.
I'm feeling worse the more I hear from DeMeco Ryans. They're sticking with this offense with everybody that we have. He's starting to do the Bill O'Brien, it's on me, going back to babying the offense when asked about some of the struggles on offense. And he's going back to some of the stuff he did last year, which was gaslighting. He didn't quite say, we're close, which he's said earlier this year. But do not try and tell us that that was a 1-score game.
And look, as bad as it seems, I tell guys at the end of the day, we're still 1 possession from getting that game, tied.
We all watched it, didn't feel like it because of the Texans' inability to take advantage of 4 Seahawks turnovers. And was it 10 penalties, 11 penalties, 12 penalties? But that's what he said. He also said that he thinks that the Texans are better at left guard when they're rotating Juice Scruggs and Laken Tomlinson in.
You spoke highly of EJ Speed, and in the past, you've talked about players like him earning the right for more opportunity. Based on the 2 previous games where Laken Tomlinson wasn't out there, and up till yesterday where he was out there for the majority, what did he do to earn the right to get more reps yesterday?
Yeah, for us, rotating both of those guys is a matter of just felt like when those guys rotated and we had a better situation at left guard. That's the reason behind it.
And he said that he liked what he saw from Jalen Noel Monday night.
I thought Jalen Noel was phenomenal. He showed up. He was probably our most explosive player when it came to pushing the ball downfield. Right, again, we have multiple guys who can make those plays. It's just a matter of mixing it up, getting the ball to him. But I thought he showed up big time for us in some real critical moments there at the end of the half. Also on a big time fourth down catch for us to extend the drive. Jalen has that big play ability in him, so I'm excited to see him continue to flourish in that role.
But he's playing less than Braxton Berrios. What the fuck?
DeMeco, you all started Braxton Berrios on Monday night over Jalen Noel. How is that decision made, and why did you all decide to have Berrios play over Noel in the return game?
Yeah, it's my decision that I made. Wanted to get Berrios up, give him an opportunity to return. He's done a good job of, really fielding the football and gave him an opportunity there to return versus Seattle.
I'm getting concerned about the direction of this Texans organization. I've already asked the question 11 months ago about what DeMeco Ryans' ceiling is as a head coach, but it doesn't feel like all aspects of the team have the same level of accountability. The offense seems to have excuses made for it. Maybe he points the finger at CJ Stroud, but he won't point the finger at the offensive line. He won't point the finger at the coaches. I guess pointing fingers doesn't really help anything either, but the offense gets babied. It doesn't seem like players are listening to him. And it feels like the same positivity about being close is still being preached to this team. Well, why the fuck else would Titus Howard admit that the Texans are complacent after 15 days off after losing on Monday night? Something's amiss. I can't put my finger on it. I'm not there for every single practice, for every single meeting. But, oh boy. If you're not concerned about specifically DeMeco Ryans, in addition to CJ Stroud and Nick Haley and Nick Caserio, but you have to be concerned about him. If you're not, I want to know what kind of fairy tale place you're living in. Under the sea, maybe that's where you're at.